Receive Alfonso Soriano, Chicago Cubs left field from sucks to bench. Receive Matt Holliday. You chuckling over there. Receive Matt Holliday. Open left field from sucks to bench. What to do? What to do?
Okay. Basically, the team's name is Sucks. Just so you know, okay.
Okay,
because that's why it's written out. Okay, Anthony's all confused. All right, so Jose Reyes for Alfonso Soriano and Matt Holliday, do you do the deal? Of course you do this deal, man. I mean, this is a bonehead question. Jose, you're getting Alfonso Soriano and Matt Holliday, 2 potential first-round picks, I would say, or at least early second-rounder first-round pick. For Jose Reyes, a first-round pick, you got to do it. Because Soriano, the only thing you lose in this deal is some stolen bases. Yes, you have to fill one great player with 2, but you know what? These are both in their own right great players. Soriano, straight up for Reyes, you wouldn't hear many arguments, and Holliday for Reyes, you wouldn't hear many arguments. So this is a deal you definitely got to do. And when it comes to making trades for keepers, okay, first of all, I think it's a crazy practice to be trading keepers. You know, it's getting a little out of control when you're doing that kind of stuff. But look, if you can improve your team in 2 places, like for instance, this guy's got Victorino as one of his keepers. So basically, take Victorino out and you're plugging in Soriano, and taking Reyes out and putting in Holliday. So you just improved yourself because you have 2 great keepers for the price of 1. So that's the kind of thing I would do when it comes to keepers. If you're going to make trades for keepers and you're going to trade off a guy like Jose Reyes' talent, then why not get 2 guys better, or 2 guys that are just as good? So yeah, I'd make that deal. And that's it. All right, go to the next question.
All right. Tank J asks, when to take pictures?
Okay, when to take pictures in fantasy baseball. Well, obviously we'll go over all this stuff when we get into the playoffs. Into the baseball stuff. But when to take pictures, normally it's kind of like the quarterback situation in football, in the sense of the best ones you can take maybe first round, late first round, maybe early second round. But I wouldn't jump. Make sure you get one of the top pitchers, but you don't have to necessarily get them in the first round, because you'll see a guy like Johan Santino go in the first round, but then at the end of the year, CC Sabathia, Webb, guys like that put up the same type of numbers, and you get them in the second and third round. So who's better off? The guy who took Santana in the first round, or the guy who took Webb at the end of the second? So judge it when it comes. Let somebody else take that top. Make sure you get 2 quality top offensive players. If you're going to skip on the pitcher, what I normally do is kind of like in football, I'll do 2 running backs, then move into maybe a second position. In baseball, I normally take 2 offensive players, then go into a pitcher. I wouldn't take a closer for a while. So if you're asking when to take pitchers, first establish a pretty good core on offense before you start going crazy on the pitchers. Once you have 3. Once you basically, in baseball, I would say, in a rotisserie situation, when you can fulfill a guy who can count on for the stolen bases, a guy for the running back, RBIs, and a guy for the home runs, and a guy for batting average, once you've got those 4 categories locked up, then you can start playing with the pitchers, I think. But I think you want to lock up all. So if you get a guy like a Reyes, before you go into pitcher, I need a guy who can hit home runs. You know what I mean? Before I go into the pitchers, because you can fill pitchers with strikeouts and ERA and wins a lot easier than you could fill home runs, RBIs, and stolen bases from a guy. So a guy like Alfonso Soriano is harder to get than a guy like Santana. I keep saying that. I don't know why. Than Santana. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can get a Santana-esque player somewhere down the line, in the second round. But you can't really get those top offensive players second, third round unless you get lucky, or you're catching lightning in the bottle. So taking pitchers is going to depend obviously on how your draft goes, where things are lining up, and your scoring and stuff. But I would focus on I would wait on the big pitcher until the second or third round. Then let someone else pick him in the first round. It was like last year with Pujols. Everyone had the big injury issues with him. And yeah, he had a great year, but I let someone else take him. I didn't want to deal with that headache or that nerve where he could go down at any point. So that's where I'm at the pitchers. Okay, we got more baseball questions?
Yeah, we have one from Danny. He asks, Beltran and Castro for Utley and Michi.
Okay, mesh.
All
right, Utley for Beltran, I look at that as a pretty good swap. Okay, and then you're getting Kazmir on top of it on the Beltran side. Okay, Utley, yes, I know he's a second baseman. He's the best second baseman in baseball, stats-wise, and Beltran is the best center fielder, stats-wise. and there's more outfielders than Beltran out there, but in this situation, you're getting Casimir on top of it. Now Mesh is nothing for me. So I think I'm getting Utley. I'm giving up Utley, which is it's hard for me to do, but he's also coming off an injury. It's a little scary. They're saying he's going to be back for spring training. Some people are saying he's not coming back till June. Yeah, I know it's not that much time either way. But if you can get a Beltran and a Casimir for Utley, I'd do it. Mesh is just a throwaway. I don't care about Mesh. All right. And do we have anything else?
We have one more. We have Bad Boy Billy.
Okay. We got time for Bad Boy Willie. Go ahead.
Current keeper list: Maurer, Morneau, Phillips, Braun, Quentin, Santana. I have Max on my bench, and right now I am not planning on keeping him. I was offered a first-round pick, which is the 7th round after keeper rounds are gone for Max. Should I do the trade or keep Max and trade Maurer?
All right, what I would do is find out what players you can get in that first round. And with this offense right now, you got Maurer, Morneau, Phillips, Braun, and Quentin, and Johan. If you can get a quality bat better than Mags, and a quality pitcher that's up there in that first round with that, making that trade, then I do it. If you look around and you say, okay, there's no great pitcher out there, and you know what, the offense, the player is not going to be the quality of Mags, then no, I don't make that deal. That's a situation where you've got to know what's going on in the rest of your league, and this is why it's a good question, because part of drafting and keeper leagues is you've got to know who everyone else is keeping and what's going to be available and what your slot is in that first round and your second round pick. So you can kind of predict your first and second round pick and the needs based on the holes you have from whatever keepers you have. Then you can spot what positions you're going to be needing. And if you can't fulfill that in the first or second round, then you got to work on that. You got to figure out a way to make sure after that first or second round you fulfilled your team with the keepers and your first 2 picks. You've got a solid enough team to compete. So keep your eye on that when these keeper leagues. It's not just about who you keep, but it's about who you can draft and fulfill. So if you've got, you have to make it. Let's just say you have to make a choice between Pujols and Reyes, and you got the 3rd pick. Okay, whichever guy you don't keep is going to be picked by one of those first 3 people ahead of you. Okay, so which place can you get if you take Reyes, can you get a quality first baseman? Or if you keep Pujols, can you get a quality shortstop in that time? So that's when it comes to keepers, it's not just about who you can keep, it's also about who you can get.